and talk about the cross-cutting initiatives that we have and the various programs that we have under ACF that provide services for the people of the United States, including Lawrenceville.
Hello, my name is Monica Seward, and I'm here from Lawrenceville. My family just relocated back here in 2011. My father spent nearly 30 years in the U.S. Air Force. I've lived all over the United States and overseas. And one of the things that I've never seen overseas is them taking in American citizens and trying to find them home. The second point that I want to make is that this is a very massive undertaking that you have brought forth here, but we have only received minimal notification. I think that's wrong, and I think someone should let us know why we haven't heard about this. The next thing that I want to ask is, we're saying that we're going to bring these kids into our community. What kind of interaction are they going to have with our community? Are they only going to be on St. Paul's College, or will they be out and about? That's what I want to know. How are they going to impact us every day?
Again, thank you for your question. No, they will be on site at all times. All of their recreation services, all of their schooling, case management, clinician services, all of that will happen on site.
And here's my next question. We said that we cannot house them in a maximum security facility, but yet you're going to keep them imprisoned on a college campus.
Working for the government, one of the commenters was a social worker, and I'm a social worker too. And before I started working for the government, I worked in foster care and child welfare and mental health, including a residential treatment facility where kids with behavioral emotional problems go for treatment, as you may know. So in that kind of setting, the kids are restricted to the campus, to the residential treatment facility. They don't go off campus without an escort for a particular reason. So I think using that as a comparison, that's a similar type of format that Tanya was talking about. There aren't prison bars, of course, on the campus, but through policies and procedures and the supervision ratio that I mentioned earlier, the kids remain on campus with supervision.
Can you hear me? Good evening. My name is Geraldine Woodley. I am a resident of Lawrenceville by my address. I technically live in the county, and I'm going to ask some questions from a different perspective because I find it appalling that there is no St. Paul's College representation here to talk to us about how this came about. As a resident of Brunswick County, my husband is the retired sheriff of 16 years of this county. I am a graduate of St. Paul's College. So I find myself stuck sometimes in conversations from all three perspectives. It is a great humanitarian effort to try to help children of any nation. We see what's happening in Africa. We saw what happened in Haiti. Where were the houses for the Sudanese children and for the Haitian children? I didn't see that. I'm appalled at the way the media has portrayed this because it comes across as a race issue, and that is not the issue. It comes across as a divisive thing between blacks and Hispanics, and that is not the issue. What I find appalling right here tonight is the fact that you said in your opening remarks that this would be a federally leased and operated program. For how long? How long are the feds going to be here before it's turned over to St. Paul's for inadequate staff and supervision? If the children's families and relatives are not found, they can be whatever you said, or whatever. So if they come here illegally, where are the papers for you to certify and justify to us how old they are, what they were associated with, and who their families are that you're trying to put them with? What happens when the 17-year-old boy that would have gotten here today was 18 tomorrow? What happens then? Where does he go? And how long will HHS be here and Homeland Security employees be on campus? And who will run a program of this magnitude when you pull out and leave? You say you're going to hire people, you're going to train people, so you're going to pay the people. But it was in the article that St. Paul's College was going to get $180,000 to lease the property. But then we were told that y'all only going to be here 30 days, then they got to hire their own people. I know Brian doesn't have a staff for security like Homeland Security does, and I know Everett doesn't have a staff like Homeland Security does. And I sure know the mayor ain't got enough trained people around here to house children that have problems.
Can you hear me? I'm going to try to do well. And what I am just hoping you can do is give me a few minutes. Right? I'll give you 3 minutes. But I'm going to tell you this. You have a lot of questions about how this works. Okay? I'm going to tell you something. I am here. I am who I represent. Are the people in the field. My staff are the ones who board patrol stations. And my staff are the ones who make sure that when we get kids in these programs, that we're the ones who make sure that we know how old they are, where they're from, where they're going to. So if you want me to do that in 3 minutes, I can try to do it. But if you want an answer to some of this stuff, you're going to have to do it because I am the dealer when it comes to making this program work. I want you to know. And if there's something we do wrong, I am that part who is held accountable. All right? And I take that responsibility. And I take it very seriously. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because at the end of the day, you're asking a lot of questions and you're saying, are you going to make this work? And I could go on all night talking about that. But I do want to tell you this. We have made it work for the last 10 years. We've made things work. My folks are there making sure that when people do come into these facilities, that they're safe. And I can only do that to a certain point, but I don't want to sell you. At the end of the day, there's people in this audience who have heard us, and I've talked to them about our processes, and we can still do that later, but there's more about that we can cover than tonight. But I think the issue is, because I can guarantee you that stuff will work. We will make it work. But setting aside making things work, the issues is that you're right. And Miss Nestle she validated that. It is a dirty shame that maybe there are some people who need some help and it's hard to give them some help. And we've done that. Some of us have worked in the community. I've worked 20 years with domestic kids in runaway homeless programs. I was a licensed jailer in Texas. I just moved here from Texas. I moved from where the borders are. I've seen it. All right? So when all of those things come down to it, I'll tell you this, we can make the things that we're saying work. But what I can't do, all right? What I can't do, and this is what I think we're trying to do tonight. And I think you're telling us, but what I want to do before I say this next few things is this. What we wanted to do is come out to hear how you felt. And we're hearing you. We're hearing you. But I want do hear you. We also understand, and I'll say this, I've gotten to know a lot of you people sitting out there. Okay? Maybe not this whole auditorium, but what I will say is that I have never been more honored to be with a group of people like you. You might not feel the same way about this as far as immigration goes, and which is a separate issue. But no one can deny the fact that in this room are some of the best people in the United States. I'm very grateful to be here. So the reality is, we came in, we were hoping that perhaps we could make this work. But if we can, let your leaders know, and we'll clearly know. Okay? At the end of the day, come tomorrow, we will know. And we're very grateful that you've given us your time. Thank you very much.
You're telling us the story of Young Deal, right? Yeah. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay. So I'm going to clarify this again. It is a 5-month lease, but at the moment it is on hold. It's a 5-month lease, but at the moment it is on hold. You will need to decide. You will make the final determination, and we will respect that. Now, to address the second part of the question, we always provide oversight of our programs. There's always going to be oversight of our programs. We monitor our programs. There's always going to be federal presence in our programs. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pam Thomas, and I've lived in Brunswick County, and I have a business in Lawrenceville, Virginia, and I've lived here for 29 years. And I will say, this is some of the best people y'all will ever meet, and I can say that because I've lived here. But right now, we have a town. I can go home, I can get supper. At 9 o'clock at night, I can come back to my office by myself, go in there and do work, come out at 11:30, get in my car and go home and never worry about being harmed. I can't do that anymore if y'all come. You can't put them over there, and it's not a prison anymore. It's a closed facility. The name can be changed to whatever you want. I spoke with you at length yesterday. You said they're coming from horrendous conditions. Well, then the prison would be much better than what they're coming from. But we can't put them over there, but you can put me, a tax-paying citizen, in prison. Is that what I'm hearing said? And I want to say one thing else you told me. Y'all get the groups together that they're with, and you say, point out the bad people. Point out the troublemakers. Well, I guess we have no drug dealers or criminals in our society because I guess the policemen get them in groups and say, point out the bad people. You told me that yesterday. Don't sit up there and say that. They were put in groups, and maybe it was Warner's people that came to see me too. I had a lot of people come in and speak to me yesterday. But I think today you told me 3 times it's backup clauses. If y'all felt the community didn't want you, you were going to pack up and you were going to leave. I think tonight we pretty much said what we have to say. I'm finished. My time is over.
Hello. We had set the time for this from 6:30 to 8:30 this evening. Let me finish my statement. Look, we are showing that we are some discourteous people. And you just had 2 people standing here and say how wonderful we are. Now we are showing the exact opposite.